G'day everybody, I'm the Red Scar and this is Red Scar Gaming. Today I'll be doing my summary of the draft deck that I was using. It was about mid-range. I got a fair few wins out of it, though it did not start well. I hope it was just bad luck, but that's alright. And yeah, as usual, I'll go through each card and do a quick summary of it. Return Triumphant, I think I got pretty good use of, though probably not as much as I'd sort of hoped for in hindsight. But yeah, look, maybe it's just good luck, bad luck. But yeah, that's right. Disdainful Stroke, I certainly got good use out of. I know it wasn't much. I think it was game 4 in particular that I sort of sat on it for a little while, and I certainly got my perfect timing for it. So I'm definitely happy with using that one. Stroke of Midnight, I think I only used twice, but yeah, look, I know it's not the best removal card the world's ever seen, but I don't think it's as bad as some people have said. Maybe I should have gone for something a little different, but yeah, I don't think I encountered anything better. Woodland Occolite, I think I only actually played the Occolite once. I Mend the Wilds might have been twice. Not great. It's not meant to be a game-breaking card, but it certainly helped. And especially in the Mend the Wilds part, for the 1 extra mana at the end of your opponent's turn. It certainly has its moments. Diminish a Witch is certainly not a game winner, pretty much regardless of how you play it, but it certainly does help. In this particular deck, I don't think it was more useful than anyone would expect it to be. I don't think I ever bargained for it. In fact, did I even bargain at all for this deck? I don't think I did. Anyway, I'll get back to you on that one. I got some use out of it. It's, yeah, not the best card. It's not great, not terrible, but yeah, I'll think about that more in a little bit. Quick Study is good. I didn't get much use out of it, but it's, yeah, good. Certainly has its moments. Talion's Messenger, I was lucky enough to get 2 of them in the draft, which I certainly got some use from them. Maybe not as much as I'd hoped, but yeah, I certainly got some use. The the whole draw discard thing is very useful, though it's probably a bit better suited in a more control deck than the one I was running in this particular case. Though maybe it was I simply got a bit lucky in that the board state was more to my favour, so it's not strictly control, but I could afford to take my time more than my opponent could. Ice Out is just simply counter target spell. It's certainly good. I didn't use it much in this particular draft. I think it was twice, but maybe it's just because I was winning enough, so I didn't really need to. Curse of the Werefox, I used a few times. Still happy with that card. It's not necessarily won me games, but it certainly helped. So I'm definitely keeping that next time. Hollow Scavenger. I would like to have had 2 of them, 3 of them maybe. Similar to, I think it was my last draft. I had a few of those. It's certainly not a bad card with the one of. Gives me something to do on turn 1 should I have it in my opening hand, which I'll note I've got nothing else in 1 mana cost otherwise. Besotted Knight, I didn't get as much use out of it this time as I probably hoped for. The Betrothed the Beast is certainly a good thing to be casting. I didn't get as much use out of it as I probably hoped. It's sort of a fingers crossed, but I'm certainly not unhappy with Besotted Knight. It's still a very good card in my books, and I got 2 of them, so that's even better. Splashy Spellcaster. There was one game, I think game 4 or 5 maybe, that I got a really good use out of it. I think it might have just been a case that I got a little lucky in that particular case, at least, because while it is certainly useful, and the whole sorcerer aura attached to the various creatures I had out helped, but I'm not going to rely on it, and I'm glad I didn't build my deck around that, because I probably wouldn't have done terribly well. Skybeast Tracker, I'm still happy with how it performed. It didn't do particularly well in this draft, I would say, but it certainly didn't do bad. It just faced some better opponents at the time. That's not my fault really, but I'm still happy with it. Charade of Numbing Depths really helped in game 4 or 5 maybe. I'm misremembering maybe, but yeah, it certainly helped a bit. The entering of Charade, I think, basically swung the game my way a few times. So yeah, very very happy with Charade. Beanstalk Worm, I don't think I got. No, I think I got one plant beans aspect of that, but the rest of the time I just got the reach, the 5/4 reach creature, which I'm certainly not certainly not complaining, but yeah, that card could have done better in this particular case. Sir Amont got pretty good use. I have done a little better with Sir Amont before, but certainly not complaining about her, it, him. Is it a her? I'm not actually sure. Anyway, Sir Amont did pretty well. Maybe I should have not put it in because it is still 5 mana, but yeah, I'm not terribly unhappy with it. Game 8, I think it was. I didn't get to use her very well, but look, maybe that's just my opponent won rather than I lost per se. Balloon as Gatekeeper, still very happy with how that card's performed for me. The entry denied, I haven't used as often as I maybe hoped. But yeah, it's still a good card. Not necessarily a card you want in your opening hand though, ideally. But yeah, look, you can't complain about everything, of course. Archive Dragon, I only played once, I think, actually. I know I counted it once. One of my opponents tried to play it, but I haven't got much use out of it. It did help when it turned up, and in that particular case, I think it helped me swing for lethal. But it's not the Archive Dragon that won me that particular game. So maybe I shouldn't have drafted it. But yeah, look, it's a little bit. I'll get back to you on that one. Hamlet Glutton. I didn't get as much use out of it as I have in previous drafts. It didn't do terribly well this particular draft. Maybe that's one of the sort of the higher end cards that I shouldn't have drafted. Just because I've sort of got like lots of 3s and 4s and a few 5s anyway. So maybe I should have gone something else. But look, I'll look into that later. Crystal Grotto didn't get much use out of in this particular case. It's still not a bad card. Evolving Wilds I definitely got some use out of, and it's a good choice, but yeah, look, I mean, you can have your own opinion if you want. Archon's Glory, I don't think there was any particular time that I really needed that, because I didn't have much capacity to bargain for it, so it would have just been just the +2/+2 aspect of it, which I'm sure there would have been some situations where it would have been good, but it certainly wouldn't have won me any games by itself. So I'm glad I didn't rely on that one too much. Break the Spell. Yeah, I can't think of anything that particularly would have worked for in my case. Slumbering Keep Guard. Yeah, I had one opponent where that card lasted quite a while and was pretty good, but in this particular deck, I'm glad I didn't keep it in. Tuonvale Guide, honestly, I'm just not happy with that card at all, and I'm glad I didn't keep it at all. Freeze in Place is maybe a card that I should have had instead of, say, Hamlet Glutton, or even one of the Ballooner's Gatekeeper, just because it would have helped me last the game a little bit longer, which basically won me the games that I did win, because I generally had the better board presence. It's a little bit if button maybe, but anyway. Living Lectin. Yeah, I haven't seen much success with that with myself or other players, that sort of thing. It's certainly not a bad card, but at least in this particular deck, I don't think I should have put it in, and I'm glad I didn't. Stormcloud Prowler, similar sort of situation. It's while it does get that trigger ability, and I was a bit heavy on that side in my deck, most of the cards I won with, I think in hindsight, were actually the 3 and 4 mana cost stuff. So I was good in not relying on Stormcloud Prowler, but maybe that's one I should have had instead of Hamlet Glutton. But yeah, just floating that idea. Water Wings, I don't think would have helped terribly often in this particular case, because a lot of my creatures are 4/4 or pretty close anyway, so it wouldn't help much. Merfolk Coralsmith, not a great card in my opinion anyway. Mocking Sprite, the more I see it, the less it's doing in drafts anyway, so yeah, I'm glad I took that out. Succumb to the Cold, I suppose similar case before, maybe I should have had that in instead of Hamlet Glutton or Balloon's Gatekeeper, just to slow the game down a little bit for me. Obira's Attendance is maybe something I should have had instead of Hamlet Glutton again. Yeah, there's an awful lot of cards I'm saying that I should replace with Hamlet Glutton, so I've got to decide between one of them, I suppose. Maybe Hollow Scavenger even. Because it can be played pretty early, if not necessarily effectively, but the 3/4 flying aspect of it probably would have helped a few times. Titanic Growth, I don't think there was a situation in particular that would have been more useful than any particular card. Maybe Stroke of Midnight would have been replaced by it, but yeah, look, it's a little hard to say in that particular case at least. Troublemaker Oof, or Oofe, or however you're supposed to pronounce that. I can't really, in hindsight, think of anything that would have been good for in my case. But as I said, I didn't really get much of a chance to use Bargain Ability anyway. Garruk's Uprising, maybe instead of Ice Out, or even Curse of the Werefox, maybe. Because drawing more cards would have done a lot. Maybe instead of Stroke of Midnight even. Prophetic Prism, yeah, maybe that's a card I should have kept instead of. As much as I liked Splashy Spellcaster, there was only sort of the one game it really did stuff, which, like with the power of hindsight, in that particular case, Splashy Spellcaster did very well, but maybe it would have been better if I had Prophetic Prism and its ability to get the color mana I needed and draw a card. But look, overall, pretty happy with how that draft went, and yeah, there's nothing sort of glaring at me as far as, oh, that was terrible, I'll throw that out next time. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. That was draft 4 of Wilds of Eldraine, and we'll see what the next draft is, because this one's over shortly. Thank you very much. See you later.